c6. We know we can pre-move c6. We're against Nelson Lopez, National Master of the Chess Vibes channel. Can we pull off an upset? Can we pull off an upset? So he's going to play the Von Hennig. He's going to play the Von Hennig. Yep. Yep. I know what he's going to play. Let me just remember. Yeah, bishop f5. Yeah. So he's going to take. Yes. Then we take back with the knight. And I talk about this in my course because this is an important line. And I think he's going to go for this bishop f7 line. I think that's what he's going for. If my preparation is correct. I did a little bit of prep a few days ago. Now the problem is, if white is down a pawn here, right? Yeah, so he doesn't go for the line. Now this is interesting. So knight d6 is normally where the knight wants to go, and I'm going to put it there because it hits the bishop, defends our bishop, defends f7. It's a well-placed piece. We could have taken this knight, but honestly, our knight is better placed on d6 than being traded, in my opinion. So, okay, bishop back to b3. I assume e6, although maybe knight to e5, queen to h4, pawn g3. Interesting. I'm going to go e6. I think this is fine. Okay, castles anyway. I thought knight e5 had some merit, but okay. Knight to d7, bishop e7 also looks reasonable. I think knight d7 I prefer, though, because I want to meet knight e5 with taking it. And after takes, I move this knight and get a queen trade. I could probably hop the knight back into e4, to be fair. Does the winner get a new speedrun account? I wish that was the case, but that's also assuming I can win this. Alright, bishop f4. That looks a bit odd to me. It looks a bit odd to me, but it can't be badly placed, I suppose. Do we want to put the queen on b6? I don't think so. Maybe c5 we should be playing for, but I assume we want to castle first. Yeah, that looks reasonable. Bishop e7 castles. And I think we just have a pretty solid position. I'm keeping an eye on knight h4, going after the bishop, which is why I'm not putting this knight on f6, not to mention the fact I don't want to allow knight to e5. Okay, so queen e2. He could be going for some sacrifices, but they don't work yet, so let's castle. King h1, alright, that feels wrong. That feels wrong, but we'll see. We'll see. Okay, how are we going to do this? His bishop isn't that well placed. Or his light squared bishop, right? As long as e6 is defended well, then we should be good, right? Again, we're stopping knight to h4. Knight e5 is not a good move. We could play a5, although we're not even threatening to play a4 anyway. So maybe we play for c5. Or we could throw in a6 first, just to stop any knight to b5 or queen b5 stuff, which I think I like. I think I like that. Because I want to play for c5. That seems to be the pawn break. I'm going to assume a move like rook d1, because I really don't see how he breaks through our defense here. I think it's pretty solid. So yeah, I don't know. Queen b6 is interesting. Also, we could consider this. Yeah, he does go rook to d1. So queen b6 followed by c5. Maybe we want to put a rook on d8 first. We also have to watch for knight here. Maybe queen to b5 in that case, though, offering a queen trade. c4 is a bit annoying, though. Okay. What else could we go for? We could go knight to b5, offering a knight trade. Maybe knight to e4, though. Not sure I want to trade off my light squared bishop. Okay. So obviously he's making this tricky for me. c5 is just way too risky because my queen and his rook are both on the same file. Queen a5. Does that have merit? Followed by rook d8. Maybe rook d8, rook c8, c5. That's interesting. I want to try and play this properly. I could go h6, just creating luft for my king. Although I probably should get my queen off the d file. I'm going to go h6, I think. Or am I creating targets? h6, can he play knight to e5, knight e5, and then he has d e5? That's very annoying. Queen b6. Knight a4. Queen a5. That should be fine. That should be fine. Let's go queen b6. So now with knight e5, knight e5, d e5, I guess knight b5? I would assume. To be fair, if knight e5, I don't have to take. I could play a move like rook d8. Or maybe bring the other rook. I don't know. So we also have pressure on b2 if this bishop moves, which is useful. Remember, we are up a pawn in this position. We are down on time. Clearly, Nelson is more familiar with this position than I am, because he seems to exclusively play the von Hennig against the Caro Khan. Wrecking Ralph. Okay. So, okay. How do we continue? c5, again, I want to play, but I need to... What? Is he playing on this? He must be. Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I did miss that. Okay. So if takes, knight takes. That's a bit of a problem. Okay, what about queen to b5? Offering the queen trade. If he takes and takes, he takes here with check. I move the king, he takes back. That's not good. Oh, I think I've slipped up. But knight c5? But then he takes with tempo on the knight. That's not good. Can I... I don't think so. c5 is not going to be good enough. So if take, I mean, the knight comes to d5, hits my queen, hits my bishop. Queen back. Knight takes, queen takes, bishop takes. That's completely losing. Yeah, I can't take that pawn, can I? Yeah, no increment. This is just a really tough position. I'm going to lose on the spot if I don't find a good way to deal with this. Queen b5 hanging, that's true, yeah. Okay. Can I get away with knight c5? Nah, because my knight hangs. Yeah, I think I'm losing, just completely. I think I'm completely lost. I'm going to try knight c5, because I need to just do something, but this looks pretty dire. Okay, so he takes. I think I have to take the bishop. And this is definitely losing, but what can you do? Bishop takes, rook takes. I need to get my knight out of there. Knight c5. Yeah, this is not good. Yeah, all that. So my knight is obviously hanging, so I need to move it. I could go rook d8. Knight on the bishop on e7 is a problem, though. Let's go knight b5. Just trying to get the knight out of the way. Rook d7 is maybe a big issue. So if take rook takes, defends the bishop. It's not good, is it? It's not good. I mean, I'm surviving for now, but this is really not looking promising. For now, we are equal on material, but the material is kind of irrelevant. It's the fact that his position is just pretty dominant. If I have a few moves, I can sort myself out, but he's, you know, not going to give me a few moves. I've got to take back and defend. I assume just knight to e5, although I guess... yeah, no, knight to e5. That looks pretty bad. Because my rook's under attack. If a move like rook f6, bishop g5, knight e5, rook f8, I thought knight c4, but I guess I have queen c7. Maybe I can survive. Maybe I can survive. I can also take this knight with tempo. Okay, okay. I do have chances to survive this. Okay, let's take here. Tempo on the queen, so I assume he has to take back. I don't see any other good... Yeah. Knight d7? Maybe? I'm not seeing anything other than rook f8, so I'm just going to have to play it. Again, if rook f6, then bishop to g5. Again, give me like a couple moves and I'm probably okay. But if he can stop me from having those couple moves, I may be losing. This is definitely a good gambit, the von Hennig, for sure. He didn't play the line I expected him to play with bishop f7 earlier, like sacking the bishop to win the bishop on f5. I haven't seen this like way of going about the position, but clearly it has a good amount of threat to it. Didn't consider the idea of pawn d5 with my bishop being vulnerable, but very interesting. I completely missed that move. Completely missed that move. Here, that looks pretty damn lost. Because obviously, if I go to g8, I get smothered mated. Not really sure how I hold this. I can try, but it's not gonna last. If bishop f6, bishop c7. I mean, this is horrific, but I will try. I will try. Yeah, he's got a lot of time left as well, which is not ideal. Not ideal. Yeah, that d5 move was really nice. Really nice. Okay. I guess maybe bishop e5 is a strong move here. Maybe. Perhaps I have bishop g6. I don't know. Obviously I want to take here, but I couldn't because my bishop was hanging. So I can try and fight this. He's taking a lot of time here, which is a bit confusing, but yeah. So if bishop c7, my queen is under attack and my bishop is under attack, and my idea is to play something like queen to c5, defending the bishop. And then, I don't know, maybe these pawns fall. You know. I do have some chances. I'm going to obviously try and flag, because he's taking a long time. I don't know if I'm missing anything else. Like, is the bishop h6 or something weird like that? Bishop e3. Okay, so that's like kind of the bailout move, isn't it? So obviously I can take it, and then he takes mine. If I go queen to b5, bishop to d4 is a problem, I think. So I assume I have to take it. Yeah, he's just gonna... Yeah, bishop e3, I mean, I saw this move, but it's not game... It doesn't win on the spot. It doesn't win on the spot. So I have some chances. Obviously, we're always watching for back rank on both sides. On both sides. So, I mean, I assume he has to take this. He could throw in rook e1, but then maybe he gets hit with queen d2. And if you take the rook hangs. He's also getting lower on time, but 2 minutes is still plenty of time. Obviously, I know I'm also low on time. Ooh. Okay. Okay, so what are we doing after rook f5? Rook f5, I was going to go queen c3 because I want to defend my bishop. I could also consider rook e8. You can probably still go rook f6 though. If here he doubles up. Okay, let's take on c3 because I want to keep an eye on the bishop. He may play a move like h3 to give his king some breathing room. That would be very reasonable. He could also take on b7. Then I go rook e8 with threats of... well, I'm not actually threatening mate, but I have ideas of it. Okay. So if I do give this check, if he takes, he loses, but he can defend with rook f1. Yeah, that also keeps an eye on this. Let's take on c2. He's got to be careful. He's getting low on time. He's got to be careful. I'm defending c6. I thought he was going to try a rook sack on the f6 square and then bring my king into the open. Okay, rook d to f1. Okay, I don't have... Wait, can I set a trap? No, that doesn't set a trap. Ay. There are chances, yeah. I need to try and stay active. How do I do this? I think he's going to take... I think he's going to take on f6. That's my concern. No? Okay. Let's hang around. Maybe he takes now. I'm not sure if he has enough. Like, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes. King g8, queen f7, king h8. Okay, he's low on time though, isn't he? So low. Let's go queen e5. Keep an eye on the bishop. Go back. Pressure on the rook. He goes for it now. Okay, but does he have a win? Does he have a win? Look at the time as well. He might go for a draw. No. What am I missing? Yeah, rook f7. So I can force a queen trade. The endgame should be a draw. Unless I misplay it, which is very possible. I'm going to try and cut his king off and just shuffle. Now I can give checks though, no? I might have messed up. I think I messed up. Oh my god, I can't believe that. I can't believe that. Ah, the endgame was drawn. It was completely drawn. So, what should I have done? Oh, I needed to defend my back rank. Or go behind. And if check and here, I go check and then I get the G6. No, not the G6 square. But G1. I just give endless checks. And I guess if you run too far, then King G6. No time. No time on the clock. That's a very good game, but I didn't need to lose that. We fought so hard to get back into that game. Because, I mean, this was completely lost earlier on. So here I'm better, but Queen B6, D5. I needed to go C takes. I thought knight takes. Takes. I thought I was losing more material. Here I have to play knight E4. And if bishop here, knight F2. That I didn't consider. Alright. Well, it's 1-0. Let me just update the scorecard. 1-0. First of 4 wins. Okay. Let's open with E4. I have no idea what he's going to play, to be honest. No idea. Oh yeah, of course he plays the Scandi. I know that. Okay. Let me think. I think I want to go bishop B5. So I think he plays C6 here. No, he goes bishop D7, which I think is the best move. Let's go bishop C4. I want to bring this knight to F8. B5. I know this is a move, but I'm not sure it's that good. Bishop B3. A5. A3, A4, bishop back. Looks reasonable. Let's try that. If A4, I don't really want him to take there. Don't know, it looks wrong to me. I'm not that frustrated with the last game because, I mean, I felt like I played pretty well. The opening was brilliant. Messed up a bit in the middle game, brought it back in the end game. Just, I didn't have enough time to figure out that rook end game. That was poor from me. And yeah, Nelson played very well to create complications. All right, then. He's going to give me a pawn in the opening again. All right, we'll see how it goes. Knight F3. Maybe there's ideas on F7. I mean, knight E5 threatens mate in 1. Knight D7, I guess. Knight D7 looks good. Yeah, I'm trying not to tilt, of course. Let's castle. So we're up a pawn, but it's not that impressive. I could try A4 now, because I don't mind trading the bishops now. I guess D4, C3, that sort of thing. Rook E1, bishop G5, knight D2, sort of that setup. Looks pretty good. I don't think he has a major attack. I mean, his bishop can come to D6, and his bishops are very good. But I think I'm okay. I can probably play for D4, knight E5, trying to shut down the position. Because, you know, then I'm just up a pawn. His queenside. I mean, I guess in endgames, we have a very nice queenside structure. D4. Yeah, I don't really want to allow E5, do I? Let's go D4. So I think I want C3. Again, so if Queen C7, setting up ideas on H2, because he'll take my knight and then take on H2. I assume I can go H3. He might try some weird Scandi things with like knight to G4 and H5. I don't know. He might try that. But I don't think it's particularly scary. At least I hope not. He's also burning a good bit of time, which obviously I like to see. Considering I'm not sure he's got enough compensation, but he may well prove me wrong. Okay, h6 is a good move. A good move for him to play from our perspective, because, you know, obviously bishop g5 is a nice idea, but I'm happy to put the bishop on a square like e3, I think. Although maybe we delay it. Maybe we just continue development for now. Maybe c3. c3 slow. Maybe rook e1, knight e5. I'm going to go c3. I think we've got a strong center. Our d pawn is very, very good. I probably want rook e1 just to assert more control over the e5 square. And I guess I want to play for knight e5. And if he allows me to get a bishop behind the knight, that's great. Does queen b7 make sense? I guess knight bd2, defending. Although even if he does ruin my structure, I am still up a pawn, so it's not the end of the world. Okay. Rook e1. I want to stop e5. I don't want him to execute e5. So let's start with rook e1. I mean, I guess he can go e5. It's just stupidly risky. That looks incredibly risky. I mean, I could even just play bishop to f4, maybe, because of the pin. Or I could just take, followed by bishop f4. We're up on time as well, which is good. He castles queenside. No way. What? So this is the plan? Okay, that's a crazy move. That's a crazy move. Oh my god. Okay. That is shocking. A4? I mean, B4? There's no way. There's no way. B4, if I take bishop takes bishop d2, I mean, that looks brilliant. There's no way he gets away with castle's queenside. His attack... I mean, I understand the point of it. I understand the point, but is g5, g4 really that strong? I mean, if I waste time and let him do it, then yeah, it maybe is, but take like this, I think that's fine. I could also try and bring my knight in. Yeah, he does want a 2-result game. Alright, let's go knight bd2. I think I like this. I need to get pieces developed anyway, just to provide a bit more support for my knight if I need it. There's g5, but here I was going to go knight c4, and I thought this bishop is a bit exposed now. If he executes g4, I guess I have to take it. So I'm going to start with taking the bishop, because it's a strong piece. And then, how do we continue? Is queen e2 viable? Takes queen a6. He can't go bishop b7 because his queen hangs. This is a bit much, isn't it? Maybe knight e5. Knight e5. d5. Queen d1. Rook d1. It's going to be rook g8, rook g2 ideas, though, after he takes. Okay, so what about take? His threat is to take my knight and then deliver mate on h2. It's a bit dangerous, isn't it? A bit dangerous. Here. Check. I mean, king b8, I have no more checks. Yeah. So maybe I have to go for this. It looks like the only move. Yeah, I don't know. 95. Maybe rook e5. Maybe rook e5 is better. Setting up bishop f4. Yeah, I like this. Now, he can't go for this because my queen is defended by my bishop, which is important. That's important. So if he takes on h3, I think I want bishop f4. I think that's what I want. Ignoring the attack on my king because this looks incredibly powerful. If knight d5, that's interesting. Yeah, so I think someone said fork, but if I take with the pawn, he takes here, I take back, he takes, I take, he takes, I take, he goes rook g8, and I'm in a lot of trouble on the king side. Which is why I've gone this. And I think our idea is rook c5, here, I don't know. Yeah, I think I explained why not fork. So, okay, I also like this infiltration, which could be really nice. Or via d3, either works. Also, if the queen takes, I don't have to take with the pawn and expose my queen. I can take with the bishop. If he takes here, I think I just ignore him. If he goes rook g8, I guess g3. Rook g8, g3. He doesn't have knight h5, hitting my bishop. So maybe I want to go queen e2 rather than d3 to keep an eye on knight h5. Let's go g3. Now, remember, my bishop is not defended. It's not defended. The queen can take my bishop if my rook moves because my pawn is pinned to my king, so it's not defending the bishop. So material is equal, somehow. But I feel like we're doing rather well. Is h2 check a problem? Here. Ooh. That's... Yeah, he goes knight g4 first. That's also a way to do it. Okay. Yeah, I didn't consider the power of knight g4. So if I go for this, he's going to go h2 check, and h1 is covered, and he's going to promote. That's the problem. This is not looking good. It's a very nice move. Can I go rook h5? And if here, take it. His queen's under attack. Queen f4. Here. Knight e3 check. King moves. Take. I don't know what the material count is there. Don't know what the material count is. Can I go f3? Trying to block his bishop. Or maybe something weird like d5. d5. He takes. That's not going to be good enough, is it? F3, take, bishop takes. He has rook g3 there. Bishop here, queen here, and I'm going to get mated. So that's not going to work either. So what else do I have? Rook h5. I think it's going to have to be. I think it's going to have to be. I don't see another option. Rook c5? Here. I still can't stop the promotion. That's the problem. Still can't stop the promotion. Do I have any other ideas? Yeah, I think it's going to have to be rook h5. Not a move I want to play. Now, I think this works. I think you can go for this, because after takes Knight to e3, discovered check. We'll pick up the queen. Yeah, and he goes for it. I guess he's better. Rook g2's on the way. I don't know. Maybe I can pick up the h3 pawn and try and survive. I guess his queenside pawns are not good. So I do have chances. And also the time situation is on my side. Just. I mean, 93 is the only move, no? What else can he play? If not 93. 93, king h2, knight d1. Bishop d1. Otherwise, bishop d3 is going to fork my rooks. Rook g2, king h3, rook f2. Yeah, and he goes for it. So I only have one move. Rook g2, king h3, same scenario. I've just got to not take on d1 with the rook, basically. I think I'm going to be forced to take this pawn. Yeah, so if rook takes, bishop f3 loses on the spot. So this looks to be the only option. Uh-huh. This is not good. I mean, I'm up a pawn temporarily. I assume rook f2 is going to be played. Or rook g1. Yeah, that too. I have tactics. Yeah. He's going to go for mate, isn't he? He's going for mate. Check here. Check. I think I'm just losing here. Whoa. He's threatening mate. Don't I have bishop f3 though? I guess my rook hangs on a1. It's not going to be good enough. King d7. Okay. So if here, it's not going to be good enough. He's threatening mate in 1. King here. He just takes. I think I have to go bishop f3. I don't think I have a choice. Yeah, okay. Now what do I do? Okay, let's attack a5. We're also setting a trap. Rook a4, bishop c6, picking up the rook. That's a nice move. That's a real nice move. Yeah. Not sure this check really helps, but it gives him a chance to go wrong. I assume king d6. I can give another check, though. Can't come forwards. Back to e7. Okay. Check here. Then he escapes all the checks. And he's going to take on, well, try and take on c3. So I need to defend c3. It's my only option. Let's go f5. If king takes, I think I have this. If pawn takes, we could do something over here. It's a good move. My bishop is really not good. Very exposed. All right, let's try and counterattack. Because I need to create complications. Or I'm just going to be completely losing. Time is low. My king is so unsafe. Didn't consider that. This isn't so bad now. Let's defend the pawn. And we should be losing, but... Okay, he's threatening mate, so I need to cover. Yep. Yeah, I think that's game over. I think that's game over. I'm not sure how he goes wrong. I've got no time. Yeah, that's it. Yep. GG. I can't do anything. Oh no. That's not good. We are 2-0 down. We didn't put up a bad fight in that endgame. We didn't put up a bad fight. I mean, did I have chances? He found some very good moves. I mean, f5 looked very reasonable. Rook a2 is the best move. It's a very good find. Very good find. I thought if take, we have chances with bishop to d5. Engine kind of likes it. But yeah, no. He just does very, very well. I'm not sure if I had anything. He just played very, very accurately. So back here... Wait. You have rook d1. Oh my god, there's no bishop c6, I have rook c5. Oh, and then I'm fine. Oh, I completely missed. I have rook c5. So bishop d1. That's the losing move. Oh, okay. I assume here rook h5 is one of the only moves. Engine thinks I'm completely lost after h2, but queen f4 looks too tasty not to play. So that's wrong, actually. Damn, where did I go wrong here? I felt like it was doing quite well. Here I'm actually better. I need to go hg4, and after knight g4, threatening take here, d5. d5, bishop d5, bishop d5, queen d5, queen d5, ed5, take, and this is just, his king is so exposed, and I can infiltrate, yeah. I guess I just got scared by this position, and like, ooh, this followed by this is going to be really scary, right? I guess that was my thought process, but I should have been more objective. Because here, I mean, knight bd2 is the best move. Knight c4 is the best move. Like, I'm playing the position very, very well. Yeah, I mean, the opening went very well. The opening was great. I played this position perfectly, but my opponent is obviously very good. He's not a master for nothing. Okay, let's go for another Caro. We'll see if he chooses a different line or not. No, he's going to go for the von Hennig. He might try a different line of the von Hennig, though. You probably prepared for your Caro, so an e5 trap should catch him off guard. I don't really know many e5 traps. Okay. So I assume, yeah, bishop f7. See, I know this line. I know this line. So g4. e6. Knight h3, yeah. Now, can I remember what to do? I think it's bishop e7. I I need to cover g5. And then rook f8, king g8, and I should be okay. So yeah, this is the line I was more prepared for. He obviously played a different version the first game with the knight to f3. But again, I'm not too mad. You know, obviously I'm 2-0 down, which I don't want to be 2-0 down. But the first game, I've had a very good opening. And I brought it back in the end game. I just messed up the rook end game. And then that second game, again, brilliant opening. But he was just super, super accurate once he was winning. I missed rook d1, bishop f3, rook c5. I just assumed, oh, if rook d1, bishop f3, and then I'm forked, and then that's not good. That was my assumption. So, okay. What does white play here? Bishop f4. What do I do here? Bishop h4, bishop g3. I'm not sure I want to open up the h file for him. Although I don't have to. Let me try and think. Let me think. Rook f8. Problem is he's going to take and then take. Right? How do I do this? What's the idea? I feel like there should be some attack against his king. I don't know why, but I feel like I should have some counterattack, basically. Wait, if rook f8 takes, queen takes, king g8. I guess he's trying to castle queenside. Which is, if I allow that, that's not going to be good, is it? Okay, so what about bishop h4? Bishop g3. And that feels right. Bishop h4, bishop g3. If I take, I don't really have a follow-up. Why do I think I have something here? What am I missing? So if bishop g6, he takes a discovered check. That's no good. So rook f8, I mean castle queenside, I'm getting rolled. I can't allow that. I can't allow that. Let's go bishop h4. Maybe I want queen f6. Maybe that's what I want. So if he moves his king, he may still have play, but it's much better than him castling queenside. Yeah, bishop f. I'm sure I'm sure bishop e7 was the correct move here. Maybe it was queen h4 though. And then knight f2. Oh, I think that was it. I actually think that was correct. And then bishop e7. Yeah, I might have messed up my move order. Which is probably why he took a bit of time on bishop f4. I think I'm still okay, but I should have played queen h4 first. That was a misstep, because that keeps the king in the center. So that was wrong. Yeah, okay then. Alright. Rook f8. This is so scary. This is so scary. Can I go for this? No, he takes and he overloads my queen. I've misplayed this. I think I have to go for this. I don't want to take the bishop. Go rook f8. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I know queen h4 is the correct move there, rather than bishop e7. I just didn't play it for some reason. I've literally played it in a video before, and I think in a live stream before. Because then we keep the king in the center, because the only way to keep the king out of the center is to trade queens, which obviously white doesn't want. Alright, let's go king g8. I should still be okay, it's just not as good as it should be. Okay, what do I take with? Pawn, knight, or rook? Rook takes, queen g4. Meh. Knight takes, queen g4. Knight here, queen here. Pawn takes. d5. Looks pretty scary. I don't want to take this bishop because the h-file opens. I'm going to go with knight takes. I know e6 is a glaring weakness, but... Yep. Glaring. I can't defend that properly, can I? This is not looking good. This is not looking good. If I take this, I'm just asking to be completely rolled. I'm going to try this. Knight takes doesn't look correct. Because queen takes, king here, and queen e3 looks nice. Trying to force a queen trade. So I think just king b1. And the point is that my queen can't defend e6 because the bishop will hang. And then there's equal material, and white, I think, at least practically, is better. Straight blunder by white last move. No, I don't want to take this, though. Like, he takes here with check, and I don't see how that's a straight blunder. Okay. Rook e8. That looks bad. Just looks bad. Maybe I missed something, but I don't see what it is. Knight takes is so risky. I don't want it. This is looking pretty bad. I guess I have to go rook e8. I mean, I assume d5 is on the way at some point, and I'm going to get absolutely smoked. White can take e6 with check. Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we're up a pawn, but it's not a very meaningful pawn. Again, queen e3 is a move I'd love to play, but I don't think he's going to allow it. I'm going to assume he's going to bring a rook to the e-file. So it's going to be very difficult to deal with. Now, if I can do something like knight d7, knight f6, knight d5, then maybe I have chances. But that's a long journey. That's a long journey. Yeah. Wait. Can I go for this? Queen g4. Knight here. I'll try it. Maybe this is a big problem, though. I don't know. This has been a bit of a recurring theme of not knowing. This is just so difficult. I mean, obviously Nelson is a great player. He's a master for a reason. Okay. This... Okay. Knight here. Mate is defended. I want to go knight f6. Does he have like rook e1, rook e6? I don't know. Well, if he brings this rook, I can take. Knight e4. Knight e4. h5? h5 looks good. Trying to force the queen away from the defense of the knight. I mean, it's a super risky move, but it looks like it forces a queen trade. Because the queen doesn't have h4. Or g6. Can't really sack the knight because my knight is covering. Okay. Okay. This is not so bad. Again, we're still up a pawn, but it's not that relevant currently. Still very annoyed about messing up my opening. Yeah, I knew queen h4 was the move. I should have played it, obviously, but we'll deal with the position as we've got it. And I think h5 is a nice find. If take, I'm going to be honest, I don't see how he breaks through. My rook defends the rook, that's okay. He doesn't have an open h-file. Yeah, so queen f4, that's what we want. Take. I mean, I don't see anything else. That's what we wanted, isn't it? We're still not safe, though. My pawns are not good. They're not good. Can I go e5? No, because if take, I'm getting hit with this. Maybe I have to go king h8. Or knight here, and then back. I don't know. It's not fun. That's for sure. Maybe rook e7. Maybe rook e7. I guess he wants rook g5, going after the pawn. Here. Here, take. Maybe I have back rank ideas. I'm going to go rook f8. h5 is probably going to fall, but I had to go h5 in that previous position from a practical standpoint, I think. I think I had to. If rook g5 immediately. Knight d4. Rook d4, rook f4, rook d7, I have back rank mate. So that could be quite nice. He's got to watch for that. Time is not in my favor, as per usual. As per usual. I've also got to just watch g7, because it is certainly a weak pawn. I guess if rook g5, I can go h4, though. Like, I think knight takes d4 works in this position, although maybe does bishop d6. He still can't take the knight because of back rank mate. So, as long as I stay on the f-file, rook f3, that still looks okay. But I can also go h4. Bishop e5. Do I take that? I feel like I take that. Do I? You can't get rid of my knight currently. That is a very good bishop. I feel like I should. I'm covering d6. If he takes and goes knight f6, king f7, and takes here, I think I'm happy to give up the pawn. Because I get, like, rook d2. I feel like that's very, very justified. Okay. Yeah, so he's going to do it this way. That makes sense as well. So now if I trade rooks and go rook h8, he has rook to d7. Then I have king g6, though. Then I have king g6, knight f4, king g5, knight e6. And I'm super low on time again. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not good. I might be inviting a lot of pressure now. That probably wasn't a good move. Yeah, I'm not thrilled. Okay, knight f6 I'm happy to see. I've got no time left. This is really bad. No time on the clock. I don't see what moves I have. I've got, like, no moves. I mean, obviously I can't give away the d-file. I also can't go rook d5, though. Just a move I want to play because of his knight. Maybe I can go after e5. Feels speculative. Maybe king g7. Don't know. I feel like the best strategy is to wait around and see what he does. Because of the time situation. Try and make him prove it effectively. He goes knight d6, I think I take that. I don't actually want this pawn. I just want him to take me. Maybe I'm allowing knight c5, I'm not sure. Oh, Roger Barron is here. Oh, we all love Roger. Yeah, I've got to lock in. Got to lock in. What am I missing? What am I missing? That, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Oh, I'm really bad. I'm really, really bad at this time control. I had mate. I think I had mate. Oh my god. Oh, I lost on time. Oh my gosh, you are joking. 0.2 seconds. You are kidding. I'm not good in time scrambles like that. I literally, before this week, I had never played no increment before. Yeah, I literally had mate in 1. I had mate in 1. That was my entire point. That was the whole point of my setup with my knight on b5. That's why I did it. Obviously, he had a fork here, but, like, we don't have enough time to think of this. And yeah, That was the whole point, man. I didn't think he was going to move his knight. Yeah. These time scrambles have been horrible to me, and I think I should have gone queen 2 h5. Sorry, queen h4, and yeah, bishop e7 is just wrong. I'm still okay, but it's so complicated. I need to go here, and after knight f2, then bishop e7. That was the line I was supposed to go for. I just mixed up the move order. No good. No good. No good. Yeah. And my endgame strategy was really good. I got out of the position. I got a good endgame. But I messed up badly again. I need to update the score as well. Ugh. There's a reason he's a master, isn't it? There's a reason. There's a reason. Sorry, not 4. It's going to be 4 soon, I'm sure, but it's 3 currently. I think they've all been quite tough, to be honest, because I felt like I've played well in all of them, but, you know, it is what it is. Okay. Let me remember. Yeah, bishop d3. Rook e8 expected. dc4 as well is fine. Rook e8. I'm going to assume. There could be some tactics on f7 and queen b3, you know. I do like these French Monte Carlo systems. I quite enjoy them. I mean, it looks like we're under a lot of pressure, and I don't know, maybe we are, but I see 6. Why aren't I playing Vienna? I haven't had a chance to play the Vienna. I haven't had a chance. So if I castle, and he takes, and I take, and he takes, and I take, is queen b3 a move? I don't want that, do I? I'm sure castling is fine. Yeah, Roger is coming in with the heat. As always, as always. Here's a very difficult loss to take. Very difficult. But, I mean, Nelson's a very good player, isn't he? Like, there's a reason he's beating me 3-0. I would like to think that I've played relatively well in all the games. He's just outclassed me at the end. I would say that's a fair assessment. And not only on the board, but in time, you know. He's very good on the clock, and I'm just not there. Does knight d4 work? I don't know. Queen d7, okay. Okay, how do I do this? d5. Knight e5. Maybe bishop e2. If take. Rook b8. Oh, sorry, wait. No, that's fine. Why did I think I was... Oh, yeah, I think bishop e2. Instead of castle with d5 work. Maybe I was just a bit concerned about the pin on the c3 knight, I think. Okay, this is a bit passive, but I feel like we have good queenside play. If his knight moves away from c6, then knight to e5 is nice. I assume on h3 he wants to sack the bishop, and I don't really want to have to play that position. Queen here, knight... Sorry, queen here, bishop here, knight here, here. No, if knight takes, then his bishop hangs. Okay, I think queen b3. Queen b3 is often a move in these positions, and then I guess rook f d1 and rook a c1 is what we want. No way is Roger giving me credit for something. There is no way. There is no way. I don't believe it. I genuinely don't. Someone has hacked Roger's account. Ay. Okay. Rook AC1, Rook FD1 ideas makes sense to me. H3 is risky. I'm not sure I want to play it. I guess B7 is weak. If he takes on C3, I take that. Okay, yeah, he goes bishop to E6. Complicated. Can I go D5? Knight D5? No. No, that's horrible. Horrible. Perhaps I'm just chill with Queen C2. Or Queen A4. Just chill a bit. If Queen A4, there might be some tactics. D5 can't work, surely. There's no way D5 works. Knight here, and I just lose a pawn. So I think Queen C2. Queen A4, I'm concerned about tactics. With, like, Knight D4. Because, like, for example, if I take, then he takes with check, and then I take, then he takes. And maybe I can take on B7, but I'm not sure I like that position. Least obvious rage beta. Ay. Okay. We're up on time, but as we have found out, that doesn't really mean a lot so far, does it? That doesn't really mean much. Okay. I mean, it's an interesting isolated pawn position where I have more space in the center. And I kind of like that. If he takes on C3, then I take back with my B pawn, and then I have a hanging pawn structure, which I like. Could pin his knight with the rook. Yeah, rook AC1 is a valid move for sure. I might go I want to stop this, but I don't want problems. Can I get away with this? I don't think so. If rook FD1, knight G4, bishop F4. Yeah, that looks nice. Go rook FD1. Oh, yeah. If takes, then taken. If take, then takes. It's, yeah, pretty simple. Now he has both files. I mean, my bishop's fine, I think. I don't know. I'm not too concerned. I mean, if, like, knight G4, bishop F4, I feel like we've got decent position. Knight D5. Well, I guess I have to take that. Because my bishop is exposed. I could go bishop D2, but I'm a bit concerned about my bishop on E2. So I think I'll take. I don't want to trade too many pieces because of the nature of isolated D-pawn positions. Obviously, we're also looking at attacking ideas. Potentially. I probably want to chuck in A3, but maybe I'm improving his bishop. Don't know. I could go knight G5, but then there's bishop to F5. Yeah. Bishop D3 is interesting. If H6, bishop E4. Does he have... No, I take that. Let's say queen moves. Guess I can take the knight. I mean, bishop D3 looks correct anyway to me. The bishop's on a nice diagonal. I've got to watch for knight to B4, forking my queen and my bishop. But the bishop's there currently, so, you know. Alright. Bishop E4 is the move I wanted. Yeah, I mean, the C-pawn is a target, potentially. Queen E4. Sorry, bishop E4. Queen H5. Take. Nah, actually, no, take. There's a queen here. I might throw A3 in. My knight is kind of weak. My knight is kind of weak. I might have to put the bishop back on e2, if I'm honest. Could do that. Try and go bishop to c4, potentially. Here. I don't have to take the knight, though. I could do something else. Maybe knight e5? Maybe that's a bit too much. Here. b4? b4, maybe? Bishop d5? I don't mind bishop d5. Knight e5, knight e5, d e5, queen e5, here. Sorry, I can't because of this. This is a key moment. I'm gonna go bishop e4. I feel like that makes sense, and I also just need to make a decision. I can always throw this move in if I really want to. Doesn't really do anything currently, but... So queen d6? That's surprising. I don't want the knight, but maybe now I do. Knight a5 is annoying, so maybe I go b4. Yeah, let's go b4. b5 could be an idea, and I don't want any infiltrations on c4 or b3 because of this bishop. I guess I have knight d2 if I want. I can drop the bishop back, maybe. So, yeah, we do have good... Sorry, did I just miss pawn to d5? Did I just miss pawn d5? Oh, surely not. I just missed pawn d5. Pawn d5 ends the game. I trusted him. That is really silly. That's really bad. Oh, no. That's really bad. Okay, whatever. That's really frustrating. Check here. No, that's not going to be good. I had a win there. I had a win. Oh my god. Okay, I mean, I think we still have a decent position, but I had a winning position, so I'm upset about that. a5 is maybe difficult to deal with. Yeah, d5 was winning. d5 was winning. Okay, I'm gonna look for a queen trade and then play for b5 if I can. Maybe I want this just to make the structure the same. Fork not work. I think the fork worked. I should be playing that automatically. Or I should at least be considering it. Okay. Queen c5, do we want to take with the rook or with the pawn? Rook takes is interesting because we're playing for b5 and rook c7, which is active. d4 is well protected, but I'm just slightly nervous about it because my rook on d1 is undefended. But if take and take... If take... that might not actually be good. a6 is a strong move, stopping b5. I could trade the queens, but I'm not sure I want to. Maybe a4. Then if takes... That's a problem. I can't believe I missed that fork. I'm going to trade queens. I'm not sure if it's the right decision, but I kind of want to switch the focus. Maybe a5. Do I lose a pawn if I go for this? Maybe. Maybe. The start of g3 to get rid of any back rank ideas, then maybe I can switch the focus and trade the pawns off effectively. Because then I should be okay. And so I'm giving my king some luft. I choose g3 because he has a dark squared bishop. So I want the escape square to be on a light square. He's playing for this, I guess. Let's just go h3. Now let's double up. So I'm kind of offering this pawn like a bunch of trades. I could trade the rooks and then take on c7, or I can just take on c7. I think I just take on c7, probably. And then, yeah, I guess I just go for that. I can't believe that. I cannot believe it. I mean, black doesn't have to take the pawn, but I'm not sure what else he does. I guess, I don't know, a4. Do I want a4? Maybe. Let's go king g2. Just chill. I think we're fine here. Like, I mean, sure, this pawn is weak, but so is c7. And the only way to make it safe is to move the knight. Bishop b7, okay. Here, 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 here. That's nice. 95. Yeah, I think this makes sense. I want to try and be active. Obviously, his rook's also under attack. And, you know, maybe just bishop d4 ideas with some skewers. But if he's going to give me this activity, I should probably take it with both hands. c6 is a strong move. Yes, that is a strong move. I guess I have to go f4. I don't think this is too bad. Okay, let's just defend. Yeah, it's a strong square for the king. I completely missed that a3 is under attack. Oh, that was not a good move. I missed that a3 was under attack. Oh, this is not good. I'm gonna have to sack the pawn. I can't defend it. Oh, I've completely messed this up. I just had to leave things as they were, basically. Nah, this is just bad. This is bad. Oh, man. Every game I've had chances. Every game. And I've consistently just messed them all up. Yeah, and this is just... I don't have anything. I can't defend properly. Because h3 is under attack, and... Nah, this is... This is not going to hold. This is not going to hold. Everything is falling apart. My pawns are just completely disjointed. Completely disjointed. Yeah, no, this is not good enough. Sure, I mean, I feel like he had an easier win, but... Guess we still have tricks. And I've lost on time again. Yeah, that's about right, isn't it? That's about right. So the reason I was doing this is because if takes, then I have take, and then I'm winning because of the discovered check, and then I promote. But obviously he saw that. Yeah, I mean d5 was just completely winning, wasn't it? Also here, I just had to do nothing. I had to do nothing. Taking is completely lost. I should just shuffle like this. And then if take, then there's no rook d3. And then, yeah, like, I'm so fine. And I assume, yeah, d5 earlier was just completely winning, I guess. Yeah, just completely winning. It's just a simple fork. Yeah, something like, I don't know, here. And then I'm up a piece. Well, there we go. 4-0. That is, that's game then, isn't it? That's really frustrating. It felt like every game I had good chances and just completely messed up every time. But I mean, he's a better player than me, so it figures. But just frustrating, isn't it? But GG to Nelson. It was a very fun opportunity. Very much appreciate the opportunity to play him. Frustrated I didn't show up better than I did. Should have done much better than that. But yeah, I don't know. I was very happy with this game, to be fair. Like, it was kind of what I wanted, something more complicated that he wouldn't be familiar with, right? Like, the position is basically dead equal, which is fine by me. That I don't mind. I don't mind. Yeah, Queen C2 is good. This is fine. He's challenged me to a 15-10. That's okay. Okay, so if yeah, knight d5, take, bishop d3, a3. So here he does have moves, but what he played isn't one of them. Because if he plays a move like queen here, which is what I was expecting, then I don't have pawn to d5, right? Because then he just wins. He just wins a pawn. But so what I hadn't taken into consideration in my calculation was that if he puts the queen here, then of course he can't, because take, queen takes, rook takes, rook takes. No, it is here. Okay, sorry, I thought it disappeared. I thought it disappeared, the challenge. Yeah, that's very charitable of him. All right, we'll see what we can do. We'll see what we can do with the extra time. Yeah, I think I might just turn the chat off completely and just really try and lock in. So, okay, last time he went knight f6 and I went bishop to b5 check. I think this time if knight f6, I'll go knight to f3. Because I think sometimes in this position, he's played bishop g4 and then bishop b5 is quite strong. So let's do this, do it this way. With knight f3. If he takes on d5, that's fine. We'll go d4. Bishop to e2 is a move. just trying to castle quickly, but it allows knight f4, which is kind of annoying. So d4 just prevents the knight coming to f4. And then I just want to play bishop e2 in castles effectively. Yeah, bishop e2 looks fine. I can go c4 if I want, but I don't think I'm in a rush. The knight isn't going anywhere. Let's just castle. I guess if c4, there might be bishop b4 check. So we just won't allow that. I could play for knight e5, but it's interesting. It's interesting, I suppose. Okay. Okay. I like these types of positions. With the E and D pawns traded, and then we have a pawn on d4, knight on f3, bishop on e2, and castled. It looks very passive, but I find them, I don't know, relatively easy to play. Okay, so if c4, knight retreats to b6, knight c3. I guess I've got to watch for bishop f3, knight c4 ideas. I should probably still play c4 though. And maybe queen c2. Although this pawn is... yeah. Yeah. c4, knight b6. I don't want to go c5, of course, because then I create a massive hole. I could go queen d3, I guess. Maybe invites bishop f5 with tempo. I could throw in h3, which can't be bad. Just seeing if he wants to trade the bishop for the knight, and providing my king some luft in all endgames. Yeah, normally our bishop goes to the e3 square, but currently the knight is attacking it. So yeah, c4, knight back. How do we want to play that? I could go b3 and go for a fianchetto. I'm not sure my bishop will see much during the game, but it would be interesting to fianchetto, play for knight e5 still. Yeah, I think I like that. Let's do that. c4, b3. b3, of course, to defend the c4 square. I could go knight d2 to do that. No. Okay, knight f6. That's surprising, I have to say. That surprises me. Okay, well, I guess just knight c3 now. My bishop probably comes to e3. My knight likely comes to e5. I've had these types of structures a lot in online games, and we tend to try and play on the queen side and try and execute b5 at an appropriate moment. We could throw in bishop g5, but to be honest, I think just knight bd7, the queen moves, and then the pin is meaningless because there's no pin anymore. So I think bishop e3, just defending the d-pawn. Very simple. And then we play for the queen side. Sorry if I'm not replying to chats, by the way, but I just want to try and focus. Just want to try and focus. I could go rook e1, but I'm not sure the rook wants to be there. I don't know if he's playing for e5. Is he playing for e5? I don't know. Maybe. Maybe I should have gone knight e5 while I had the chance. Queen b3. Rook b8, let's say. What's my plan there? I'm not sure. If I go pawn a3 and he strikes with e5, I guess I can shove the pawn to d5. That looks reasonable. That looks reasonable. If I go a3, he goes a5, queen b3, queen b6. I have take, and then I fork. So I think a3. Playing for b4, b5. There are also lines where if you can induce a6, then c5 and the knight can rotate to the b6 square sometimes, and it can be interesting. I don't know if he's trying for some weird g5, g4 thing, but I don't think that really works. It would be in his style, though. h6 makes me think he's going to do that. That would be very, very Nelson to just go for a big pawn attack for seemingly no reason. We could try and force a bishop trade with a move like knight h4, but the knight is very misplaced. I could go b4. He goes g5. I don't really like it. It's scary looking. No, b5. g4. I feel like that's playing into exactly what he wants. Like, those are the types of positions that he loves. I don't know if I can stop it, though. I don't know if I can actually stop it. I think I just have to let it happen. h4 is egging him on. Also allows knight g4, which I don't want to allow, because my bishop is a bit vulnerable there. Yeah, knight e5 just loses a pawn. That's no good. Okay, let's continue the plan. Let's continue the expansion. If he does launch the pawns forwards, maybe I can play for d5 to open the center. Yeah, he goes for it, unsurprisingly. Okay, well, can I go d5? Take. If he trades everything, my queen is very good. And if he pushes, his bishop hangs. And d5 looks good. We also have bishop d4 ideas. Now, it's key to remember that if my queen ends up on the d5 square, we have to watch for bishop h2 check, unveiling an attack on the queen. Now, because his knight is on d7, he is blocking those ideas, so that's fine. If he doesn't take, we are maybe threatening pawn c5 followed by pawn d6 and just clamping down positionally. And I mean, a protected pass pawn on d6 is going to be probably fatal, you would assume. So that's going to be no good. Sorry, I'm just my girlfriend, I think, is getting back soon, so I just need to let her in. So just making sure my phone is not on silent. So I think typically when your opponent is attacking on one side of the board, it's normally good practice to try and open up the center to kind of change the direction of travel, kind of. So that's what I'm going for with the move pawn d5, because I don't see like an instant win or anything. That's not why I'm playing it. I mean, it's available. I have enough support for the move d5, but if I blast the center open, then his kingside attack is not going to be successful, I don't think, because he's not going to have the resources available to center the kingside if the center's wide open with his king still there. So, yeah, that looks like a reasonable plan to me. And it's getting him to think, which is obviously good. I'm questioning whether a5, b4 was actually a good use of time. Maybe rook e1, rook c1, and d5 was better. Just getting the rooks into the game. Although I guess threats of c5 and d6 are they are good ideas. They are good ideas, I guess. So I don't think it's a complete waste of time. Okay, so he takes. We can consider knight b5 hitting the bishop, but I assume it just retreats, and then we lose a pawn. because we take our eyes off of the d5 pawn. So we'll take back. e5, okay. But now knight b5? Is that not really dangerous? Okay, let's consider this. Knight b5. If bishop b8, pawn d6 looks pretty interesting. If a6, knight back. Maybe I'm losing the pawn. Okay. Knight b5, bishop b8. Bishop c5. Maybe that's the wrong idea. I could play knight d2, offering a bishop trade and trying to bring the knight in. That's interesting. If g4, take, bishop moves, knight c4, bishop b8, knight b5. That looks interesting. We also have ideas of knight to e4, setting up a blockade. If he takes, I think queen takes. Maybe I'm letting go of the d5 pawn. d5 is a passed pawn, but it can't be protected. It's also isolated. So we have to consider that. It could become weak, but it could also be quite strong. But yeah, we're yet to see. If he takes here, I don't want to take with the knight because, I mean, one, I just dropped the pawn. Well, I mean, that's the simple answer, isn't it? I just dropped the pawn. I guess maybe I could have considered knight e5 because if he takes, then I take. But if knight e5 and he takes on e2, I mean, I don't see how I have play there. I'm going to have to take the bishop back and then I lose a piece. So that seems pretty cut and dry. Yeah. I was also considering knight h2, trying to blockade the g4 square with another piece. But I think it's important for me to be able to switch the focus to the center of the board, like I was saying before. And the knight on h2 doesn't do that. It's very, very passive. So if this e-pawn can't advance, this bishop's blocked off, which is good. Objectively, that's just good for us. If bishop g6, it does control the e4 square, so we can't play knight to e4, but we do have knight to c4, and knight b5, of course, which look very nice. And if we can get black to castle kingside to get away from the knights, that should be a success. Because, I mean, he's pushed his pawns up so much. Okay, bishop g6. We love to see that. Love to see that. So knight c4 or knight b5, does it matter? Knight b5, do we really want the a pawn? Not sure. I think we should move this knight because this knight is doing a good job of defending d5 and also keeping an eye on the e4 square. If knight b6... What was wrong with knight b6? I think it was take, queen takes, and bishop c5. I think that's why I didn't like knight b6 for black, because it loses control of the c5 square. So this looks very difficult for black. This looks very difficult. My knight on c4 is also defended by the bishop on e2. g4 looks completely ineffective now, not least because I can maybe get away with pawn h4, but I could probably just take with the bishop. I do like this. I probably want to put my rook on c1. The e5 pawn could be weak. But more importantly, I've got really good queenside play. So, okay, what are we doing on bishop to b8? What are we doing on bishop to b8? Well, I can obviously play pawn to d6, but it feels incorrect. It feels like I'm putting that pawn there, and it's just going to get crushed. He's going to kick my pieces away and then take the pawn. That's what it feels like he's going to do. So, I think I want to delay this move unless it's absolutely necessary in a good sense. So, bishop b8. Now, if he plays a move like queen c7, then I have it. Yeah, he goes bishop b8. Okay. So this feels like we're doing something right. It feels like we're doing something right. We're pushing his pieces back. His attack is gone. I could go for a move like bishop d3, but again, it feels like the wrong direction of travel. If knight b5, well, I should also consider bishop c5, stopping him from castling. If knight takes, pawn takes, castles, d6 threatening the e5 pawn is quite nice. If b6, nah. So knight b5. Do we have a threat there? I mean, if he castles, what are we doing? What are we doing? Not sure. Because he wants to castle. Do I try to turn the tables and play pawn h4? Maybe I'll wait for him to castle to do that. I could go rook c1, but it feels slow. h4 looks like a very viable move. Because it's basically trying to stop him from castling. I guess maybe he can take it and play for h3, so I should probably wait till he castles. Because then bishop h6, if he takes, comes with an attack on the rook on f8. So, there's also this weird knight to a5 move, hitting the pawn, and if pawn to b6, knight c6 looks pretty strong to me. If he defends with queen c7, I have knight b5. If he goes queen c8, rook c1 looks good. How else can he defend? How else can he defend? Queen c7, rook c1, or knight b5, queen c8, rook c1, pawn b6, knight c6. Queen doesn't have many squares. Queen c8, rook c1. Lining up with the queen looks good. Yeah. I think knight a5. It's an odd-looking move. I'm well aware. But, hey, if he castles and sacrifices the pawn and goes like queen c7, and we go knight c5, we go like take, we have connected passed pawns. I guess he can play for e4, opening up checkmate threats, but we do just have pawn d6, shutting the bishop off forever. So, yeah, I like knight a5. I mean, knight b5 is a very tempting move in the previous position. And, you know, knight d6 ideas, they look kind of nice, but I mean, black just castles, so I don't really have a threat there. This feels like I have a genuine threat. So I'm, you know, I feel much better about it. Again, I've obviously mentioned rook c1 in many lines, but my rook may well come to c1, particularly if the file stays open. It looks very hard to defend this pawn. Yeah, b6, knight c6. The queen just doesn't have many squares. She does not have many squares. And e4. Okay, so if here he wants this with checkmate threats. Cool. What if I go knight b5? What if I go knight b5 to stop queen c7? If here and here... Yeah, that's no good. That's no good. e4 also locks this bishop out the game forever. I also have moves like, I don't know, queen, bishop here or queen here or something, because this diagonal is weak. But I feel like knight b5 makes sense. Now, what are we doing on a6? I guess that's the question. Here, here, and then we win the queen. That's pretty good. Here, a6 takes queen e7. I guess it's queen... No, queen c7 we still give the check. Although, it's a bit weird. Sorry, no, the queen's hanging. What am I on about? If the queen goes to c8, we win the queen. If the queen goes to e7, which would be the only square. Our knight is under attack. We don't have knight to d6. If bishop c5, he takes with the knight. I guess we just go knight to d4. And if he plays queen e5, threatening mate, we could go d6. Bishop d6. Knight d6, queen d6. Equal material. Interesting, though. I don't want to go g3, because I'm kind of creating weaknesses. I could go for the immediate d6. It should be considered. If castles... Well, okay, let's say here and he pushes b6. Let's say that. Here, here. Queen a4. I'm not a massive fan of it. I think I prefer knight b5. So we do get the knight b5 move eventually. Now there's no knight to e4, because it obviously the pawn's in the way. So we're again threatening to take the b7 pawn, probably. I guess we could throw in a move like d6. Rook c1, the file is now open completely. a7 is weak. b7 is obviously weak. This diagonal could be interesting. I feel like we're doing all the right things here, but Nelson is not going to make this easy for us. Because obviously, as we can see from the scoreline, he's a very, very good player. So how do we want to do this? What if he castles? Do we want to take on b7? Do we want to? Castles. Don't have to. We could play a move like d6. It's valid. I don't know if it's good, but it's valid. Castles, we could even throw in h4. He does castle. Could throw in h4, which I'm kind of liking, because it reduces the squares his queen has. Have to take taken rook here. If he goes for that, of course. We could take queen here, knight here. I would assume we could go rook c1. Can he save the pawn? Pawn c6. Knight c6, queen e8. Maybe he can. Is it a big deal, though? Do we care that much? I guess the e5 square is good for his knight. Bishop c. I feel like h4 is a nice move. Is it creating complications, though? With h3? Maybe. Okay, take. Say queen e8. What's our plan? d6? We could go bishop c4. Not sure that does anything. I feel like the b7 pawn isn't really going anywhere. I kind of like rook c1. Just trying to keep the pressure up. Objectively, I'm not sure if this is a good move, but I'm not really sure how he defends b7 easily. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but I guess I'm just concerned about, you know, getting mated, which is a valid concern. Suppose I have like queen d4. Queen e7, knight b7, queen e5, pawn d6. That looks interesting. Trying to say his queen is misplaced. Because his bishop is out of the game, and the bishop has no moves. The pawn probably wants to go to d6 at some point, but I don't want to do it prematurely. Don't want to do it prematurely. Yeah, b6 does save the pawn. But at what cost? Knight e5, okay. Probably wants to come to d3. He gives up the c5 square, though. I think now I take. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I completely missed that I'm hanging this pawn, but I think it's okay. Yeah, he doesn't even want it. Okay, well if here, then he takes. Knight c5. I'm not sure I love knight c5. I think maybe knight a5. Do I have to move the knight? Yeah, I do. I think I like knight a5. Okay, I've got to go let my girlfriend in. Alright, knight d3. Wait, can I just like take in here? I guess he wants this. Right, okay. Let's go here then. Because now we're covering all of these squares with the knights. Sorry about that. I just had to run down and let my girlfriend in. Okay. Queen here. Obviously I can take the bishop, but it lets his rooks into the game. This is weak. Take. My knight could be weak. I'm going to take. I feel like I have to. Huh. Here. Here. Is that annoying? Yeah. Okay. I could take the bishop, but this knight also hangs. This is not easy. Queen f3. Knight d5. Oh, then I take. Then I have this. Oh, that's the play. That's the play. And I'm threatening the knight. Okay, that's gorgeous. That's why we keep the knight on c6 rather than trading it for the bishop. I'm very low on time, though. But fortunately, we have 10 seconds of increment. So we're up a pawn as well. Don't forget that. We're up a pawn. I guess I want to bring my other rook to d1, probably. But the pawn can't really advance anyway to d2 because I just take it with my bishop. And then there's no bishop d3 because my queen covers d3. How does he play this? King g7? Then bishop d4 looks like game over. Does the knight have to move? Well, it can't take the pawn. We know that. Okay, let's say like knight e8. Let's say. Then what? Well, bishop c5. Knight d6. Then we take here, and then we take. Bishop. That feels like a very desperate move. If take and take, then he can take. Take. Here. Huh. If I go here, my rook hangs, so I should take this. So if takes, knight takes. Maybe queen d4. Threatening to take and play knight e7. I mean, I could try and defend the pawn with a move like knight c3. It just feels passive. Let's take. So again, the queen can't take because of check. So we're up 2 pawns, but the d3 pawn is a concern. Yeah, so knight takes. Queen here. He doesn't have any rook d8. Is this not just winning? I guess king h7. I guess king h7. Because then this doesn't come with check. If king h7, rook c5. Okay, all that covering this. Here, push, we can take it. Rook c5 looks correct. Again, there's no rook d8. He does have rook c8. Maybe I have knight a7 there. And then my knights support each other. That looks reasonable. Yeah, he's going to make this as difficult as he can for me, of course. Particularly being very low on time, but it feels like such a hard position to defend for black. I feel like he's losing a piece no matter what. There is that. Don't know if it's good enough, though. I guess if here my rook hangs. Okay. I mean, it can't be bad to keep an eye on the pawn. Yeah, let's go to d4 to try and stop the knight infiltrating. Rook c8. 2. So let's cover. Yeah, rook there. Making this difficult. I'm not sure about this move, but I'm going to play it. Yeah, this is the problem, isn't it? Wait, I can do this, though. I'm not sure if this is good enough. If I take, he takes. But then I come back. He takes. Worst case, I draw. Worst case, I draw. I mean, I'm not sure how he swindled his way out of it, but considering how the other games went, I can't be mad. I think the knight is better on e5 than f4. Don't know, it just feels better there. So the pawn is lost. I'm up a pawn. Okay, let's take. I'm not sure if he wants the knight endgame. Knight endgame is more likely to be winning, I think. So I assume he wants to keep rooks on. Yeah. Here. I feel like check is interesting. Check here. I don't know, maybe it isn't. Maybe I just put pressure on the pawn. King wants to come here. Gotta watch for this knight trying to be tricky. For 4. Okay. Bring the king to defend f2, so my rook is relieved of its duties. We can be more attacking. Knight here. It's trying to come here. So I guess rook e3. No, then knight f1. So I want to come here. Knight f1 still. Then I come up here and I should be okay. It's tricky. It's tricky. Can't avoid all the checks, but my king should be okay on h4. I could go to g4 as well, though. Yeah, maybe coming in here is interesting. I mean, surely I take that. I don't know if he has ideas of checking me, but I guess just f3. It should be fine. We're up 2 pawns. I'm not sure how easy this is to convert, though, but certainly try. Knight f1. King f2. Knight has to go back. Yes, he's going for here and then winning g2. King here. Knight here. King here. Time situation's not good, but I don't know. Ooh, what? h4. That is interesting. Now I have h3, which is ideal. Am I missing something? I don't think he has a mate. Knight f1 check, king h3. I mean, I could even walk towards, to be fair. Do I walk into the discovered check? Probably not. I think this is fine. So I'm just going to invest in the pawn, I guess. Yeah. Okay, let's go rook e4. Guess he brings the king over. So maybe that was a bit of a... Okay. Oh, wait. No, he's trying to set. No, that's not good. No, he's going to try and mate me. What am I doing? That's not good. I'm gonna have to try and bail out. No, that's really bad. He still has mate threats. After this, he has this. What am I doing? What on earth am I doing? I'm throwing so hard. I should have just stopped pawn f4 and then it was easy. Because I was thinking, well, the knight is not a threat because it can't come to g3, but now it is. Very silly. Very silly. What do I do there? King g2, I guess. If the knight moves, I can take the pawn. If check, I can take the knight. Okay, yeah, that's probably the way to go. That's probably the way to go. Okay, that's probably all right then. That's probably all right, but does he have this? No, I can take and get out of there. I'm putting my king in a box for no reason, though. It's really, really silly. Even if I'm okay here, from a practical perspective, this is a terrible plan. Because I've got 18 seconds. I should have kept my rook on the 4th rank to monitor the pawn. Just play like, I don't know, rook d4. That would have been much better. Then the pawn doesn't move, and we can continue. Okay, so if he takes en passant, I go king g2. That looks okay. And then I can go with the pawn again. It's just giving him unnecessary chances. But I guess this is what, you know, very good players do. They just keep finding ways to complicate the game, keep creating chances to win, ways to make me, you know, try and make difficult decisions, which, if I answer incorrectly, could go very south. I'm up 2 pawns. This should be completely winning, especially with knights on the board. Another strong move. If I take, then I get mated. So I have to cover. I don't want to sack my rook because the pawn will promote. It's a good move. It's a good move. This is very scary. Here. Guess I can maybe try and come into f3 and blockade. But again, I'm just giving him so many chances. I mean, maybe I can use my h-pawn, but... Okay. I think I can stop the pawn. King f7. Yeah. I guess I can come here. Check. Here. He can't win my rook. Okay. This is defended. If he goes rook a1, I go b6 defending the knight. If he goes rook back, then I go here defending. If he goes here, I go here. If he goes back, I go something like that. I don't know. But either way, the pawn should be fine. The knight should be able to escort the pawn. I'm leaning towards this being winning for us again. But he definitely had chances that I shouldn't have given him. Maybe this is holdable. I'm just wary with the knights on the board. I'm unsure. Okay. Well, that's the only move anyway. If f3, take, check, take, I'm good. Yeah, there could be some scary lines there, but I think I'm fine in this situation. Just if my rook was any other square, basically, then I could be in trouble. The pawn is defended, but my pawn is now going. So if king here, pawn here, king here, pawn here, check here, I'm good. Wait, what? Oh, I guess he's trying to go for a knight trade. Okay, well, I'm not going to give him a knight trade. Because I think the endgame might be holdable. Oh, I missed that. They have this, though. The king comes here, I win the knight. King comes here, I give a check. He comes here. Push. He's not going to mate me, I don't think. What happens if I push? Check here. Check here. Check here. Check. That's a perpetual. That is a perpetual. Okay, what happens if I sack? Takes, push, rook b1. And the pawn can't get through. So complicated. Okay, if I give a check, he goes back. If I go knight c1, he's going to give me the same perpetual. Okay, I can repeat, I guess. If this, I think I'm okay. I thought this was okay, though. Because now there's no perpetual. I feel like the knight's a liability. Okay. Let's defend. Give the check. Hack the rook. How do I win this? guess I just swing this over. Unless... Wait, no way. Oh, I just hung the knight. Oh my god. Did I really hang the knight? That's unbelievable. Okay, well this is just a draw now. I can try and win, but this is just a draw. Oh my god, how on earth have I done that? I might even find a way to lose this, who knows? Yeah, this, even if I win the knight, he can probably just take here and draw. Knight takes, I have this. And I win the knight, I think. Oh, I can't believe I blundered that. And then my H, like, he can just sack his knight for the pawn. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. If he allows a move like b7, then maybe I have chances, but I don't think he's going to allow that. He could just play rook takes, king takes, and I can't win that endgame. I can't win that. This pawn is not strong. His king is way too close. If I push, he just gives a check and he wins the pawn. So this should be a draw. I can't believe I did that. What should I have done? Like king d2? And the game goes on? Probably. So yeah, now I just win the knight because the rook can't keep an eye on it, and this is just a dead draw. Well, better than losing, innit? Better than losing, but obviously should have won that endgame. I just, yeah, didn't see the fork for some reason, which is silly. But yeah, this obviously should have been winning. Obviously should have been winning. Yeah, so hi to the chat. Good to see you all. Yeah, I definitely should have won that. So here the engine actually wants this. No way. He actually wants this endgame. Huh. I thought this was going to be drawn. But the engine disagrees. I wonder why. I wonder why this is winning. Because I thought... I don't know. Whatever. Yeah. This is just a drawn position. And then... Where is it winning? After this. The check is winning. Sorry, winning for me. He has to move the knight and defend. Okay, in retrospect, it looks relatively obvious, but, you know. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I had a more winning move earlier. I mean, here after f5, I should have just moved the rook to d4, stopping this. Like, 100% that should have been the move. The endgame, like, getting into the endgame position was pretty good. I was happy with that. I can't be mad about that at all. I think we did well from here. To go up the extra pawn and keep everything in check. Now, I feel like I should have had more of a win earlier, but I could not find it. Nelson defended so well. So let's go back a good bit. Let's go back here when I played knight a5. So here I am much better, and knight a5 is the best move. So after e4, this is perfectly reasonable. But d6 is stronger. And after castles, knight b7, queen e8, queen d4. I saw the idea of playing queen d4. I just didn't think it was that good. But I guess black is just suffocated. Okay. So push. I bring the knight over. Castles. Rook c1 is, yeah, not good. I should have been taking. And after this... d6. Yeah, so I should have put the pawn on d6, basically. I should have put the pawn on d6. I delayed it too long. So here, knight e5. Again, I should have gone d6. Here, I was a bit confused as to why he didn't take on d5. After queen d5, knight d5. I saw this rook c5 idea, but I thought he just takes on e3, fe3, and the knight is defended by the bishop. I mean, this is a nice position for us, but I don't think it's winning. So, yeah, here, here, here. Knight a5 is best. Here, d6. What? Okay, rook c6. Interesting. If he defends. Knight c4. The queen goes here. I guess g4 maybe. No, okay, maybe not g4. And just queen a1. Okay. Alright then. Yeah, sure, but this also makes sense. Bishop d3 is good. Queen f3 is the best move. So the trap here is if knight takes, then I go up a piece. So obviously he sees that. Taking is good. Queen takes is fine. Knight d5. Here, queen h6 is better. I was just spooked by this pawn. Oh, I cover that. I completely missed the fact that I cover that pawn. That I didn't see. Yeah, I completely missed that. So I should have just taken on an h6. I went queen d4, which is still actually fine. It's still actually fine. Rook fe8 is one of the only moves. I thought you might go king h7. Here, knight e5 is strongest. I think I was considering rook c5 here. I'm not going to lie, I kind of missed the fact that knight b6 keeps everything in check, but okay, it happens. We're still doing very well. Rook c5 is incorrect. Knight e5 is better, hitting the queen. He has to sack the rook, apparently. If he moves the queen, knight g6, fg6, queen d3. I'm up 2 pawns. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Oh, let me just update the scorecard. We got a 0.5, guys. We got a 0.5. That's amazing. So yeah, it's an interesting position. So here I allow knight b6. Take. Here. And we're slightly better. Okay, this is incorrect. Knight to c3 was better first than if rook here. Knight e7. I didn't give up. I didn't give up when I was 2-0 down. It just obviously, like, is very frustrating because it feels like I shouldn't have been 2-0 down. And then here. And it's a very similar position to what we had in the game, actually. Very similar position. So I started with this. Rook here. Here, I'm actually worse if rook c2 is played. Oh, because I don't have the check. Oh, yeah. We both missed it, though. We gave the check. Take. Here. And then we have knight e7. And then we come back to win the pawn. And then, obviously, we saw how the endgame transpired. I was pretty happy with the opening, though. I felt like we dealt with that very nicely. Here we're +1. Wow, we are +1. What was the wrong move? e6? No, the engine doesn't like bishop g4. Huh. But yeah, I tend to quite like these Scandi structures. I am a big fan of them. I thought he might go for a e5 a bit earlier, like in this position maybe. Sorry, not this position, but at some point. So a3 was not quite it. I should have gone for the immediate d5. And if everything gets traded, then I guess the black king is just very exposed and there's lots of hanging pieces. So let's say something like here. I'm at least up a pawn. At least. So Yeah, okay. Very, very interesting. Glad to not get beaten every single game. Obviously, I should have won this game, but you know, it's very difficult. Like, he made a very nice sort of trap with these shenanigans, with the knight coming to f1. Now, I actually thought he was going to go for it in this position, and after king g1. Okay, here he has to find knight e3. Go after g2. Okay, I think we both missed that. And if I try to save the pawn, rook g2 anyway, rook b2, and my king is stuck on the back rank. Still not obvious. But, yeah, very interesting. I think I'm going to call it a day there. I need to go... I've got gymnastics, actually. So I want to go to gymnastics. That'll be a good stress reliever. So thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Obviously could have gone better. Really could have gone better. But thank you very much to Nelson at Chess Vibes for inviting me to play in the first place. Obviously, I assume most of you know who he is, but great channel. Go check his stuff out. And yeah, thank you all very